I think I'm in right. Hello, hello. I think I'm in the right group. I had to look for it. I think I am. I'm going to wait and see if some people jump on. And then I'll introduce myself because I know Facebook takes a little bit of time to let us know, let people know that I'm here. So if you're here, say hi. I can't see any comments just yet. But if you are here, say hi or send me some hearts or something so I know you're here. Okay, I can see some hearts. Oh, okay, so I see some names. Stacey, hey Stacey. Jenny, hey Jenny. Hey Jen. Hey Lindsay. Hello. Hey Rebecca. Hey everyone. Oh wow, I'm in the right place. Hey Amanda. Oh my god. And Jody. Amy, and listen, I'm going to say it now in case any names come up that I can't pronounce. Forgive me if I get your name wrong. Sister Marva is in the house. Hello, guys. Hi. Where are we? Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're all well. I hope you're having a good day. Your eyes look amazing. Oh, thank you, Jody. Okay, so Jen. Oh God, I don't want to say her name because I'm going to say it wrong. I said Madeira, and that's not how you say it. Jody literally just told me how to say it, and I've just said it wrong. I'm sure I have. Madeira. I don't know how to say her name properly. I'm really rubbish. I'm so sorry. But Jen, you did an eye look with the Beloved Palette 3. Yeah, volume 3, this one. And I'm going to say M because Madeira. I know that's not how you say her name, but anyway, she inboxed me and asked me whether I would Manbira. That's it. Yeah, I can't say her name properly. I'm so sorry. But she inboxed me and asked me if I would recreate the look. She's recreating the look that you did, so we can do a collage to show different skin tones. So this is my version. Trust me, it's taking me an hour. I wiped it off 3 times and then did it again. And I was like, you got literally 25 minutes to get this right, girl, because you got to go live or scrap it and do it after the live. And I just managed to finish it. So yeah, that's why I've got makeup on. Otherwise, I wouldn't have any makeup on. Literally because I was asked to do it. Thanks, Jen. I loved your look. It looked amazing. I was like, wow. And I haven't used this palette for such a long time. I forgot how to use. I forgot which brush should I use. Like, because it's creamy, right? So I was like, oh, damn, no, not the fluffy crease brush because it's creamy and it sticks, doesn't it? So I had to get the splurge out on, whatever. But yeah, this is my version. So I got to take some pictures afterwards. But yeah, thank you. I'm not the best at eyeshadows. I get really nervous doing eyeshadows. I'm real basic. I am proper basic. It is a gorgeous palette. I forgot all about it, Jen. I just, you've got so many products, you forget. Unless you're somebody that wears makeup a lot all the time, you forget, right? So I forgot about this one. You're live 4 hours. I'm live 4 hours early, Lindsay. Well, this is a different kind of live, as in, it's not my night owl live. For those that are wondering, I do a night owl live, usually between 11 and midnight on my Facebook profile. It started because I was on a 90-day live challenge, and the only time I could get on and it was late at night. By the time I sorted the kids and all the rest of it was late at night, and then it became a thing and everyone expected me to come on late at night and we'd have these late night discussions about anything and everything. And that's what Lindsay's talking about. And I'd be on there for 2 hours. They'd keep me on there for 2 hours talking about anything and everything. It's just like an open forum. So that's what she's referring to. Thank you, Maria. Hey, Ruth. Okay, I don't want to keep... Hey, Donna. Oh, God, I'm hoping that's how you say it because it's spelled D-O-N-A. I'm saying Donna, but it might not be Donna. I'm really rubbish at names, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm dyslexic, so I kind of read things as I see them, if that makes sense. It's really difficult, so forgive me for that. Night owl lives, and I know I haven't done them for a while, Lindsay, because since Empower You, I've just been manic and exhausted. But I'm getting back to it. I did do one last night. I am getting back to it. Yeah, it is Donna. Brilliant. Thank the Lord. Hey, Susan. I go sleep, wake up, and Sylvia's still on the live. I know. I know Sister Marva's always telling me off. Don't worry about pronunciations. Thank you, Jodie. Because listen, I'm just going to keep it real with you all, okay? If you don't know me yet, you're going to get to know. I just keep it real, all right? So I've been asked to come in. Thank you, Jodie and Jen, that have invited me in here tonight to come and talk to you guys. I'm not an expert. I've never done this. These things I'm being asked to do are not the norm for me. It's not something I normally do. And so this is all a new territory to me. People reaching out and saying, can you come and do live? It's all new to me. So, you know, I just kind of go with it. All right. It's an open forum, guys. So like, ask me anything you want to ask me. I will not take offense to anything you want to ask me. So last week I was in Becky's group. She asked me to come in and do a colour match training for her group. How to colour match women of colour. So I'm not doing that with you guys tonight because I've already done it with Becky's. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to download that live that I've done in Becky's group, and I'm going to upload it here into this group for you guys to watch it. It was I think it was an hour and a half, I think we were on there for, and we went through things in detail. So I'm going to upload that here so you guys can see it, because you guys are all, I know you got split groups, but you're all like one big team, right? You're part of the downline and whatever. So I thought rather than me go through the whole thing again, I'll just download that video, that live, into here, and you guys can watch it, rewatch it. And if you've got any questions, you can put it in the comments. I'm in this group now, so I'll see them and I can respond to them. Sister Marva's in this group, so she may see something and be able to answer the question for you as well. Amanda's in here. So that's what I will do. And there's a couple of other videos that I downloaded into that group that I will put in here as well for you as well. Okay, so that you get the benefit as well, all right? Because I'm not here for one person, one team. I'm here for all of us, okay? So tonight I'm here. I've been asked to come just have a chat with you. From what I'm understanding, me and Jodie have had quite a few conversations. Me and Jen have had some conversations. And since Empower You, I mean, I've got to thank you all, because the action I've seen so many of you take since Empower You in terms of wanting to do better together has been amazing. I didn't expect that response. I don't know what I expected, to be honest. I really don't. But I really didn't expect that response, and it's still going. It's not like it was, I honestly thought, when it blew up, I thought, okay, I'm a 5-minute wonder, and then everyone will forget about it and go back to how we've always done things. But that so far hasn't happened. People are reaching out to me every day, tagging me and stuff every day, and it's been amazing. Not for me, not because I need the validation for me, but it's been amazing for all of us. It's just been incredible to see what people are doing. But what me and Jodie had a conversation about is that and I've been finding, because the questions that people have been asking me, is that people are still scared. What do we say? How do we say it? And that sort of thing. So Jodie thought it would be a great idea for me to come in and just have an open forum where you guys can ask me questions, anything you want to ask me. And we'll kind of go from there, right? I'm going to try and keep up with the comments, but if I do miss your comment, forgive me for that, because it comes so quickly. Marva Samuels has been here forever, part of the family. Yeah, you're so blessed to have her in here. She's just, Marva's the best. We are family. We are definitely family. I love that word, family. We are all family. It doesn't matter who you are. Your YouTube colour match guide is fab too. Thank you, Jodie. I'll send the link here. So what Jodie's referring to, I've done a YouTube video that I've done a video that I uploaded to my YouTube, and that's the video I send to anybody that wants colour matching, whether they're black, white, blue, it doesn't matter. I send them that exact same video to make sure I get the image that I need to colour match them, to make sure I get back what I need. I'll upload that as well. I recommend that you feel free to use mine, but you could do your own really easy. It's not hard. When you see mine, you'll see it's very simple. There's no airs and graces. There's no pretty backdrop. You don't need anything but your face and a window with daylight. That's all you need. You don't need to have all these fancy things. I think sometimes we get caught up when we see those people that inspire us, and we're looking at their screen and we see a really amazing backdrop and this and that, and we think, I'm never going to make it until I get that, or I get this, I need to get this, that, and that can stop you in your tracks, and you do nothing because you don't have it. That is not true. We do not need it. It's great if you want it and you want to go out and get those things, and go and do that. If that's who you are, go and do that. But if that isn't who you are, don't go and spend your money on getting all of these fancy things, and that isn't, because it's not real and authentic to you. So don't get caught up in that. So doing a colour match video for your customers, you don't need anything for that. You just need your face in the window. That's it. Keep it simple. Keep it real. That's it, Jodie. That's it, Marva. Just be yourself. So I'm going to, where to start? And if I'm going too fast, please tell me, okay? And please shoot me any questions that you'd like to ask, okay? Oh, damn it. Jade asked a question, didn't she? And it's on my phone. I'm using my phone, so I can't answer the question because I'm using my phone, because I can't get to it because it's on my phone. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry, Jade. I will answer it. I will answer it separately. Where am I going to start? Okay. In terms of talking to people that look like me is no different to talking to people that look like you. It isn't any different, right? I said in Becky's group, we aren't aliens. We are human beings. We are women. We're just a different skin tone. That's it, right? So there's nothing different about us, all right? Jen's question, SJ, the other YouTube video was fab too, re-inclusive. Oh, hold on. Have I missed a question? I'm really sorry. Question, are we diverse enough in shade-wise? No. We are very good, though, Jen. We are very good in shade-wise. But we are not, we could do better. Like, for example, the dark shades that we have, we could probably do with another shade in between Cypress and Cabretta and Georgette, for sure. I use Cabretta. That's the shade that I use. But I could probably do with the next shade up just slightly. So there is more shades that we could have. But I am sure that would be the same for the fairer skin tones as well. But obviously we've got way more fairer skin tones. We are very good with the shades that we got, but we could still add some more, if that makes sense. We've got a good range. This is not inclusive. I find it very... Oh, right, yes. So there's a video Jodie's referring to, which I'll drop that video in here as well. So there's a video of a girl. She's on TikTok. She had nothing to do with Unique at all. I don't know whether she sells makeup or anything herself, or whether she's just one of those people, one of those influencers. But she did an amazing video where she took several different brands of makeup, and on both sides of her face, she did swatches of the colours, and she was showing how it wasn't inclusive. She's very dark. She's much darker than me. She's much darker than even Sister Marva. She's like that deep chocolate brown. And when you see her swatch, then you'll understand why it's not inclusive. You'll fully understand. It will hit you in the face and you'll be like, oh my God. Jen actually asked me whether we could do a video like that. And what I did was I have all of the shades in the stick foundation. I was missing a couple because I'd given them those ones away to some of my Y sisters in my team. Because when I got onto the diversity panel and we were testing the new shades of the stick, corporate sent us all of the shades, not just the dark shades. They sent us from Scarlet all the way up to Samite. So I had them all, but I'd given some away. But when I spoke to Jen, and I thought, yeah, you know what, let's see if we can do something. I've actually ordered in the ones that I'm missing. They arrived yesterday. So I'm going to try and see if I can recreate something similar. But obviously I'm not as dark as this girl. When you see the video, you'll understand I'm not as dark as her. But I'll try to do some swatches so you can see what our shades look like on dark skin. Okay. I find it very difficult to colour match myself because of my skin tone. Skin tone's really important. Like I said, this live that I did in Becky's team will explain it way better. It's not about, I'll just give you a quick tip. It's not about like looking at me and seeing just the brown. You just, you know, I'm brown, right? Like my son says, he never says I'm black. He says, no, you're brown, right? Right? Then, which is what most people do. They look at this and they say brown. So then they look at the chart and they try to see which brown matches this brown. That's not how, you can't do that. As I demonstrate in this live, there was someone that said that they would have colour matched me as Himru. But Himru is a cool tone. And when I put Himru on, I go green. It makes me green. On the chart, it looks like it should match, but it's not, because it's the undertone. You need to know what the undertone is under the skin, not the top layer, which is brown. You need to know what the undertone is. What's most important is your veins, Lindsay. So you need to check what colour your veins are, for one, right? And then that will tell you whether you're warm or cool. If you're warm or cool, doesn't matter which one, look at the shades that are in the cool and the warm or neutral. Don't, if you're warm, like I'm warm, Himru's cool. So if you give me Himru or any other cool shade, it's going to make me green or grey. Right? So you need to, honestly, Jen, if you see it, when I put it on, you can see it, I glow green. It's disgusting, right? So you need to know what that is. You can't just look at the skin. You have to look at the undertone of the skin. And we, like I said, with women of colour, we're different shades. We are different shades. Like my neck is lighter, fairer than my face. My arm is fairer than my face. There's a lot of black women, Asian women, Mexican women that are dark on the outline but light in the centre, all right? Or might have dark shades on their face and lighter shades. So you need to look at it all. This live I did will explain it much better. You need to look at it all. You can't just look and see, oh, she's light brown, medium brown, dark brown. Oh, she's really chocolate. No, you can't do it like that, guys. You can't. Incredible Hulk, yeah. Exactly that, Marva. Honestly, I look so ill. It's disgusting. When you put it on, you think, oh, yeah, maybe. And when you blend it, you're like, nah, that's green. That is proper green. It's gross, okay? So, but this live will explain it all. And Lindsay, hopefully that will help you with colour matching yourself. And if you need any help, reach out and I'll try and help you, or any of the other girls can help you as well, right? So please reach out. So I think with women of colour, what you need to try and understand is the trauma that is behind a woman of colour. I'm not talking about that you need to know everything. I'm not saying that you need to be an expert in anything, right? But you need to have some understanding, and that's having uncomfortable conversations, honest and open, uncomfortable conversations. If you've got women of colour in your life, go and have a chat with them. Ask them, what's it like? What's it been like for you finding makeup or finding hair products or whatever it is, however you want to start it? Talk to them and you'll get a better understanding. Don't be scared of offending anyone, because if you, like I said at Empower You, if you are saying it out of genuinely wanting to know and out of love, your friend or the person you speak to will feel that, okay? You need to ask the questions and not be feel the fear and do it anyway, because the biggest fear that everybody's thinking of, let's just talk about the elephant in the room, is they don't want to be racist. They don't want to appear racist. They don't want anyone to say, oh, she's racist, or she's white privileged, or blah, blah, blah. It's fact. If you are white, fair, you are privileged. That isn't your fault, okay? But it is fact, okay? And I'm not saying this to offend anybody, so please don't take any offence. I'm not trying to offend anybody, and I'm not trying to make people necessarily feel really uncomfortable, but that is fact, okay? You don't have to think about certain things. I'm going to give you an example. Nothing to do with makeup. My son, who is now 15, when we went into COVID lockdown times, he was 13. And we all had to wear masks. You know, that the whole world had to wear a mask, right? It wasn't just like a certain people. Everybody had to wear masks, right? Him and his friend, imagine, 2 13-year-olds. He's not long started secondary. They're both in their hoodies and their, you know how these kids like to dress, they're in their hoodies and whatever. My boys are mixed race. Their father is white. We're no longer together, but their father is white. Him and his friend, his best friend, who is white, they like to, you know, identically dress. Wanted to go to the shop. The shop is a few doors down from me. And I said to them both, put on a mask. Because at that point, it was in the very beginning when none of us knew what was going on. All we knew was there was this crazy disease going around. And if you didn't wear a mask, you were going to die. It was kind of that attitude, wasn't it? Everybody was scared. Nobody knew what was going on. So I put on a mask before we go to the shop. I'd asked him to go to the shop to get some milk, basically, okay? He'd gone down the road with his friend and they'd been stopped. And he'd been questioned. Where was he going? What was he doing? Etc., etc., etc. Because he had a mask on his face. His friend wasn't asked anything. That's white privilege. That's not his friend's fault, but that is white privilege, okay? He's gone innocently to buy milk and has been stopped because he's wearing a mask. So me as a black mother, when I send my kids out, I have to think twice of where I'm sending them, where they're going, who they're with, what they're wearing, etc., 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 etc. That's my life. It's the norm, okay? You as a white mother, or very fair, won't even cross your mind. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't cross your mind to think in that way. I'm going to the shop, Mum. Yeah, all right. Whereas I'm like, where are you going? Why are you going? Who are you with? And I look them up and down and what has he got on? That's the difference, okay? They went to the shopping centre, to JD Sports. He was 13. It was the first time I'd allowed him to go to the shopping centre by himself. You know, as they get older and they're really excited, they're going out on their own. They just wanted to wander around. They didn't want to do anything. Went to JD Sports. He was with his other best friend, who is also mixed raced. They walked into JD Sports. They had their hoods up. Walked into JD Sports, really excited, looking at the trainers. You know, it's like, you know, when we were young and the first time you get to go shopping by yourself, they were asked to leave the store because they had their hoods up. So they both said, well, we'll put our hoods down, put their hoods down. They didn't know any different, but they were still asked to leave the premises. They hadn't done anything wrong. So I have to tell him, both my boys, if they go out to them places, make sure your hoodie's down. Make sure your hands are in a position that people can see where your hands are. If you've got like a man bag on it, you've got the man bag at the front so people can see it's a man bag and you're not carrying, like, do you understand what, that's our world. I'm not saying that because I'm making it up. That's our world. That's the difference between, because some people are like, oh, I don't understand why people keep saying white privilege. I'm not privileged. I came from a broken home and da da da. That's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about, white privilege. White privilege is that you don't have to think about those things. It won't even, it's not part of it's not there because you've never had to, right? And you'll never have to. Never ever in your life will you ever have to think about that. I'm sure if a police car drives past you in the car, you're not worried. You don't think, oh my God, and get that slight little tightening of the chest of, oh my God, are they going to pull me over? You probably just drive on by, unless you know you've got a light out and you think, oh my God, they're going to stop me. I've got a brake light out. I don't know. But generally, you don't think about it. We have to think about everything. I mean, I just thank the Lord I do not live in America, because Lord knows I don't know if I would have survived, and I certainly couldn't raise boys out there. I couldn't. So I'm very blessed that I live here. But that's our life, right? So it's trauma. Hey, Cheryl, it's trauma. There's a lot of trauma behind it. So coming back to makeup for black women, this isn't everybody, but it's a lot of us. Black is a curse. Black is less opportunities. Black is ugly. black isn't worthy, black isn't this. Okay? The only time that black seems to be acceptable is when people want our music, they want our food, they want our fashion, they want our hair, they even now want our bodies. You know, they want the lips, they want the butts, they want the boobs. Okay, I wasn't blessed that way as a black woman. I didn't get the boobs and the butt and the lips. But you know what I mean, right? Then that's acceptable. We want to take parts of it. But you as a black person that has it, it's ugly. That's what it is, right? That's truth. That's fact. It's not me making that up, right? So as you're growing up, that's what you know. So therefore, that's where you get things like skin bleaching come into it. And this isn't just black women, Asian community as well. Like the Asian community, I don't know if we've got any Asian, Indian, Pakistan women here, but they're very much the same. The fairer you are, the wealthier you are, the more desired you are, the more beautiful you are, the more this, that and the other. That's why you get a lot of Asian girls that, you know, have committed suicide or done the skin bleaching, done this, done that, because they're trying to be fairer, because they're dark, right? That's where that all comes from. Jamaican women do it, say, bleaching their skin to be fairer. African women bleaching their skin to be fairer. You can Google that. You can do your own research on it. I don't need to go into the details. You can find that all out for yourself, but that's where it comes from, trauma, because the fairer you are, the more opportunities. The darker you are, you're like wasteland. That goes way back to way back to slavery days. You know, if you were dark, you got the worst treatment as a slave. You got the worst jobs. If you were fair, you got the best jobs. You got treated better. You could work in the house. You had a proper bed. You looked after the babies. Or it's still slavery is slavery. It doesn't matter. But if you do you understand what I mean? So that's been passed down to generations to generations to generations to generations. Okay. So as young girls and boys, you will know from a very early age that this isn't accepted. Okay. And everywhere you look tells you that. Everywhere you look tells you that. Okay. Let's go back to the foundation. Everywhere you look, nobody's catering for dark skin. You have 1 or 2 shades, 3 or 4 shades. Nobody's catering yet. Like I said at Power You, 7.5 billion is spent by the black community alone on cosmetics. And I bet you any money, a lot of that was put in the bin because it wasn't right for us. Okay? Right? Everywhere you look tells us that this isn't what's considered in society as beauty, unless you are famous. If you are Beyonce, everybody loves Beyonce, which baffles my brain. She's a black woman, but she's acceptable because she's in the high ranks, so we accept her because she's in the high ranks. Does that am I making sense? Let me know if I'm making sense. We had no chance. We had no chance, Lindsay. No chance. It is sad, Jodie. It seems similar to people with loads of tattoos. It's discrimination. Yes, it's the same. Yes, it's very similar, because if you're covered head to foot in tattoos, people have a certain perception of you, that you're rowdy and you're this, and you're not any of those things just because you like tattoos. It's the same, right? Please tell me it is getting better. It is getting better in some places. See, this is my opinion, right? And Marva, Amanda, Lindsay, any other women of colour in here that in this thread, whether live or on replay, may have a different opinion. This is how I see it. George Floyd stuff happened, turned everything upside down in the world, and then it felt like, and it still feels like to a degree, that people went into overdrive and jumped on the bandwagon of, we need to appear to be seen as being diverse. And everywhere you looked, all the adverts, all of this was of black people everywhere, that white people were complaining. Everywhere I look now, there's black people on the adverts. Everywhere I look, there's black people on the magazines. Everywhere I look, it's because it went from one extreme to the other. And I know there was a lot of companies and a lot of people out there that literally just jumped in because it was a trend. It was a trend. It was cool to be seen with black people at that point. It was bringing in the business. But that's wrong. That isn't acceptable either. That's literally using black people as a token to get what they want. That's not acceptable either, right? It is getting better in our areas, for sure. But there's still a lot of work. And I think we are blessed in the UK that we don't have to deal with the stuff that happens over in the States. I mean, I speak to some girls in the States, and when they tell me the stories that they have to go through as women, as mothers, I just can't. I have no desire to go to the States. I used to always want to move there. Now I'm like, no way in hell. Unless I'm going over there for a work thing, an incentive trip or something, that's the only time you're going to catch me stepping foot in America. I have got no interest to be in that country. We are not welcome. We're not welcome there, right? So it is getting better, but unique. We are trying to do better. Corporate are trying to do better. But it takes time with corporate. You know, there's a lot of things they got to jump, not of loopholes they've got to jump through, a lot of things that they need to do. They can't just change things overnight. And we have to remember that they have a lot of markets. So what might work in our market might not work in Mexico, might not work in Germany or whatever. So it's not a matter of that they can just go, bam, we're doing this. You know, there's a lot of things that they got to work on that we won't even be aware of. But I know that Derek is very passionate about it and he is really trying. But we don't have to wait for corporate, guys, if we start having those conversations with each other now. We do not need to wait for corporate. We can be the influence from the ground up and meet corporate in the middle, right? That's what we need to be doing. And the only way you're going to do that is by having those open and honest conversations. You know, a lot of you know women of colour. I'm not the only one. There's a few of us that you can reach out to and have those conversations and just say, look, like, tell me what it's like for you. Or I want to reach out to this person and I'm not sure, how do I say it? What I will say is there's no magic script. I'm not going to give you a script. There is no magic script. There isn't. We are normal people. Stop making it a thing. Because you're making it a thing, that's why it makes you uncomfortable. Do you understand what I mean? Stop making it a thing. I'm a woman. If you wanted to ask me, I don't know, SJ, how easy is it for you to get a lipstick? Just come and ask me that. Like, don't make it a thing. Why would I take offence to you coming and asking me that? Why would I see you as racist because you've come and asked me that? I'm not going to see you as racist because you come and ask me that. Just ask the question. If you want to, if you're uncomfortable, like, you know, you want to reach out to people on your social media, you want to let people on your social media know what you're doing, you can go and do it. If you're somebody that's comfortable with lives, go and do a joint live with somebody of colour. Like Lindsay's here, Lindsay's of colour. You could reach out to Lindsay and say, Lindsay, let's do a joint live and let's have a conversation about what it's like for you being a woman of colour, some of the struggles you faced, or whatever it is you want to talk about. And you can go and do a joint live with Lindsay, or you do a joint live with Amanda, or do a joint live with Marva. If you don't want to have that conversation, but you want to just show that you're inclusive, collaborate with each other. Like, I've just done this eye look, Mandira. Oh, I'm so bad. Mandira. You know what I mean? I'm doing this eye look. So there's going to be a collage that comes out with Jen on it. Madeira. I know it's wrong. I know her name's wrong. And myself. We're completely different skin tones. Jen's white. Madeira's Manbira. Why can't I get that right? What is wrong with me? Manbira. She's Asian, right? And I'm black. Completely different skin tones, with different backgrounds, whatever. We've all done this look. It looks completely different on all three of us. There'll be a collage that comes out that we can all share on our social media that shows this one palette on 3 different skin tones. All of you can do that. That's not uncomfortable. That's not openly saying, if you're uncomfortable saying it, that, oh, I'm now for black women, I'm now for women of color, I want to reach all the Asian women, all the Mexican women. You don't have to say that. You don't have to. Show it. What you need to do is show it. So you can do lots of collaborations. You can do the same with skincare. You can literally have a picture of you and a woman of colour with the face mask on, or with the eye mask on, or do a live together that you're talking about skincare. And like, if it was me, I'd be like, when I pick at my skin, I get dark marks when I pick because of this. You can have a conversation because my skin's different. We mark easier, whatever it is. You can do that without having to say, I'm focusing on being more diverse now. Like, this is what I'm doing, right? Does that make sense? You can do that. You don't have to wait for corporate to tell you. You don't have to wait for corporate to tell you to do that. You do not have to wait for your leaders to tell you to do that. It doesn't matter what level you're at, yellow to black. It doesn't matter. The status doesn't matter. That's got nothing to do with it. You can reach out to anybody and do this yourself. And the more of us that's doing that, the better for all of us. It's not about, well, one side's getting all the attention and the other isn't. No, it's not. It's about us coming together. Like I said in Becky's group, you'll see it on the live. At the moment, we are like this. Okay? That's how it is. And what we want to do is this. And it's normal. It's not a taboo. It's not a thing. People are making it a thing, and that's why they're getting themselves all flustered and being like, oh my God, I don't want to offend. Oh my God, I don't want to be racist. Oh my God, how do I ask that question? Because you're making it a thing. How would you ask somebody that looked like you that same question? How would you ask somebody that looked like you about joining your team? How would you do it? It's no different for women of colour. The only difference is you've got to empathise with the trauma behind it. So, because a lot of us have that trauma, when it comes to our makeup and stuff, it's deeper than just wanting to look pretty. We want to be accepted. We're trying to fit in with society and all of those things, right? You need to have an understanding, do your research. Kat Day's been doing a lot of research off her own back. You can do that. You can jump on Google and do your own research. You don't need somebody to tell you that. You don't need to wait for somebody to post something on their social media and then be like, oh, okay, I'm going to copy and paste that without even fully understanding what that means. Okay? You can do that. We learn from each other. Exactly that, Marva. We learn from each other. Okay? All right, action takers. Yes, Lindsay. Yes, Marva, all day long. Just sorry, I'm missing your comments. I'll just go back. All looking hot. Having an array of colours, skin tones looks beautiful. I think it looks beautiful because you went, oh wow, that looks great. And even it shows how, don't be scared if it shows that actually that palette doesn't work for dark skin. What you're doing is being honest and real. You're not going to recommend something to a woman of colour that you know that doesn't work. Now, I'm going to use an example here, and I'm not knocking this person that said it because, again, they didn't know any different. The shade Astute, the press shadow Astute. I was at an event, and this person was doing makeup and was saying, somebody had asked, which is there one shade that we have as a base colour that would suit all skin tones? And this person said Astute. I don't have it. I gave mine away a long time ago. That is incorrect. Astute doesn't, you can't even see it on my skin. Don't be afraid if it's wrong. If it's like, you can, don't go on and say, I tell you something, I'm just going to be real with you. I really, really hate when we have these corporate trainings and they'll say, it's perfect for everybody. And I'll be looking at the live and I'll be like, no, it's not. That's not true. I can't wear that. When we had the lip butters come out, the limited edition lip butters, I was looking at it and being like, the only one I can see that may show up is poolside. The other two are going to just look like Vaseline. They're not going to look like I've got anything on my lips. But we've got people up there saying, this is for all shades. No, it's not. Be honest. Be honest. If you're of dark skin, I wouldn't recommend these two shades. No one's going to shoot you for saying that. If anything, they're going to cut and be like, she knows what she's talking about. I will go and see her because she knows what she's talking about. She's not trying to sell me into something for me to go and buy it, to get it home, try it, and actually it's wrong. It doesn't work, right? The women of colour are going to appreciate you more when you're being honest like that than trying to blag them into, yeah, that would suit you. Yeah, that would look good. Be honest. Just be honest. And if you don't know, say you don't know, but I'll find out. I'll try and find out for you. I'll try and find somebody that may know. I know, like my sister Marva's down the road, and I know she might be able to tell me. Let me go and ask Marva if she thinks this would work on your skin tone. Just be, that's it, Jen. Be authentic and real always. We, because I'm a woman of colour, would appreciate that more and will be more open to listening to you and what you've got to say than if you're just saying what everybody else is saying and it's not true, right? Launch partners, like I said this before, I wish corporate would do it and I hope that they do at some point. Launch partners, how often do you see a woman of colour as a launch partner? How often? I've been here 7.5 years and I can probably count on one hand how many times I've seen a woman of colour as a launch partner. Okay? And when they have been a launch partner, they're usually very fair-skinned. That does not help me. That doesn't help Marva. That doesn't help Manda. We're all of darker shades. So you're launching a lipstick and it's a white woman, beautiful. She's putting it on and we're all sat on the other side of the screen and we're all, okay, well, I can't envision how that's going to look on me because we can't see it on ourselves. Imagine you were put in a room and it was just black and brown people and you were the only white or fair-skinned. And we're demonstrating products and you're looking at it and you might be saying that looks absolutely beautiful, but I can't see it on me because you can't see it on you. There's no representation of you in that room. That's how we feel. And that's why I'm saying we can all do better by us showing the representation. Corporate will get there when they get there. When I was launch partner, I made Laverne go live in the pop group with Beloved. Yes, Jen, right. See, exactly that, Jen. You see what you did there? There is no reason. We have no control of the launch partners, right? They're chosen by however they're chosen, right? We have no control over that. And we have no control over the pop group because obviously it's only, I don't know who gets admin, but obviously Kristen, Joe, whatever, they are admins and whoever they allow to be admins. We can't all just go in there and post, right? She had no choice, right? But we all have team groups. We're all in team groups, leaders especially. There is no reason why you can't say, right, let's say we're just launching this. We've our launch partner is white. She's done all the looks, blah, blah, it's amazing, right? You can then take that and go into your team and say, right, pick out your women of colour and say, right, we're going to do a joint live and we're going to show how this palette works on both skin tones in our team group so our ladies get to see it on both skin tones. You do not need to wait for corporate to do that. You can do that yourself. Do you understand what I mean? Anyone can do that. But the problem is we're not doing it because we haven't thought about it. And that, again, comes to white privilege. Okay, and I feel, sometimes I feel bad saying it because I don't want to offend, like, I've got lots of white friends, like, but that's the bottom line, because you don't have to think that way. You don't think that way. So take someone like me and the others to point it out to you to say, well, why don't you just do this? And then it will be like, do you know what I mean? Then that will help. You know, we have Makeup Monday with Julie on a Monday from corporate, and I don't watch it. Unless she's doing skincare, I don't watch it because it's pointless for me. She's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. She's blonde, blue-eyed. Whatever makeup she puts on, it ain't going to look like that on me. It ain't. I can't see myself, so I don't watch it. It's just pointless. I don't learn anything, so I don't watch it. And I've asked several times, can we not have Julie with with a woman of colour, like the two of them live together, demonstrating the product so we can see the difference in the shades? Because I know that eyeshadow might not pop that way on me as it does on you. but that's a corporate thing. I have no control over that, right? That's being inclusive, not offensive. Yes, thank you, Jodie, right? So think outside the box, stop making it a thing, reach out to people, ask the questions. Don't be afraid to ask the questions. Don't be afraid to reach out and say to somebody, I want to do this eye look, like I've had this evening. I want to do this eye look. I'd love for you to do it with me so we can show diversity and how the shades show up. I did one with Jade last week. We used palette 4. It was palette 4, wasn't it? I think it was palette 4. Yeah, it was palette 4, this one, right? And if you look at Jade's picture, like the colours are bright and bold. If you look at mine, it doesn't even look it looks nowhere near the same. But we used exactly the same palette and exactly the same shades. I think it was those last 3 shades we used, the dark blue, the green, and that kind of silver, it's a greeny silver. We used exactly the same, but if you look at our pictures, it doesn't look anything the same because my skin tone's different, right? So reach out to people and do collaborations. That's the easiest way to get people's attentions. You do not need to you don't have to necessarily put up a big post to say, I am now all for diversity and da da da. You don't have to do that. If you're comfortable doing that, you want to do that, that is fine, but you don't have to do that. Just start showing it, because again, what happens with Women of Colour, we see these posts and we're like, okay, is this a trend? Are we the trend today? Are we the trend this month? Like when Black History Month comes around, obviously the Americans already had theirs. Everybody was about Black History Month when it's there. Everyone wanted to show things about Black history. The minute that is over, you see zero diversity anywhere. It was a trend for the moment. It was just for the moment. That is offensive. That is upsetting. And that is why women like me will be like, okay. And we'll take a step back and we just switch off, okay? You either in it or you're not. Don't use it as a trend. Don't use it as a token. You're either in it or you're not. If you don't want to be in it, that's fine. Each to their own, right? I ain't going to hold it against you. Bless and release. Okay? Bless and release. But if you're in it, you're in it. It's a lifestyle change. It's not for a moment. It's called business, Black history. Yeah, that's right, Marva. It is. It's literally to rank up the pennies in those businesses, or rank up the likes and all of these things. And then after it's done and dusted, no, you don't. Those same people that are sharing all of this stuff, you don't see nothing. That is offensive. So if you truly want to be inclusive, it's a lifestyle change for you. You start and you continue. It's not, I'm doing it for this moment and then I'm going to stop. And you're going to come up against barriers. You're going to get things wrong, just like everybody else. Don't give up. Keep pushing. Just keep going and keep going. When women of colour start seeing you showing them, they start to take notice. They start to look a little bit closer. What's she doing? Oh, okay. All right, okay. Let me take another look. Oh, okay. All right, she knows what she's talking about. Right, okay. And then they might start asking you questions. Then they might want to buy something from you. Then they might want to join your team. They might not do anything at all. They may just follow you and support you. Doesn't matter either way, okay? But they're only going to do that if they see you showing up and they see you being true and authentic. True and authentically you. Getting things wrong. Whatever. Trust. Trust is a big thing, plays a big part. I'm just checking I haven't missed any question. It goes out the window. I'm just checking. We normalise. You have to normalise it. Lindsay's saying her door's always open. That's right. Elephant's band, henceforth. Yes, Elephant's band. Jodie's a perfect example. Like, she just says it as it is. But because she says it as it is, and I know her heart is good, you can't take offence. Even if she gets it wrong, you can't take offence. And she's openly said, if I get it wrong and I offend someone, then I'll apologise. But I'm not saying it in that way to offend anybody, right? I know it's not, yeah, I read that bit. If there's any questions, let me know. Okay. So there is a lot of trauma around women of colour, and that's what you need to understand. You don't need to necessarily say that to a woman of colour. I don't say, I know there's a lot of trauma around you. You don't need to say that. All right. You just need to be aware of it and have empathy for it and recognise that for centuries we haven't been seen, and still in a lot of places we're still not seen and accepted. Okay. So you have to build a relationship. It's a process. You have to build a relationship with them for them to trust you so that you can move forward. All right. Don't go and say, like, I don't know, joining, like, I don't know, joining the team. Say you're trying to get someone to join your team. Don't go and say, I want more women of colour in my team. That just sounds wrong. Do you understand what I mean? Just say, like, I'm really trying to make sure that I'm including all women in this. And I believe that you deserve this just as much as anybody else. Go down that, however you would say it from your heart. Don't say, I want to have more women of colour in my team. Because again, we'll sit back and be like, oh, okay. So you want me to be the token, I'm going to say it, token black bitch. No, see you later. And we're gone. Exactly, Jodie. Screams token. We're gone. We're like, no, I'm not your token black bitch. Okay? I'm not down for that. Do you understand what I mean? So don't say that. Be real about it. I want to be more inclusive of all women. You don't have to mention colour. I want to be inclusive of all women. And we're trying really hard. And if you're sending them an opportunity video, do not send them an opportunity video with just white women. Because again, what that does is it might be the best opportunity video in the whole entire world. But we look at it, I've seen some great opportunity videos, and I'm like, oh, that looks amazing. But I'm like, where's the colour? There's no colour. Like, we don't see ourselves. So what we see is, that isn't for us. That isn't my place. That looks amazing, and I wish I had something like that for me. But that isn't for me. Because we don't see ourselves anywhere at all. Or you've got one. That screams token. You don't want to have one. You want to have several. You might not have an even number of people, it doesn't matter, but you want to have several ranges of colours for them to look and be like, oh, okay, I see myself. Oh, right, okay. Any kind of video like that, you want to do that. Videos that you're sharing, if you're colour matching as well, like, don't send them swatches of colour matching if you can, where it's on white skin. Because it's not going to be the same. I don't send a swatch, colour matching swatch of dark skin to my white women. No, why would I do that? She's white. She needs to see it on her skin tone. So why would you send them a swatch of the foundations on a white arm? That doesn't help. It's just thinking about things like that. If you're sending them the lipsticks and things like that, try and find swatches of the lipsticks and shades that are on the dark, brown skin, not on white skin, so that they can, even if you want to send both, that's fine. But you think about the person you're talking to. Do you understand what I mean? They're of dark skin. Why are you sending them swatches on white skin? You're sending them an opportunity video that does show no black women. Why would you do that? Don't do that. That's actually going to offend and switch them off. Or you send them and it's got one in the background that you can barely see. It's offensive and it's upsetting. Can you share some resources with swatches on? Yeah, I can. I shared all of this in Becky's group. I'm going to share it here. What I have said, I've done this, few of us that have done swatches, but I've done it on my arm. And it wasn't until I did the training with Becky that I realised that I need to do them again, because my arm is, obviously it's fine, you can use them, but my arm is fairer than my face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some new ones. I'm going to do my neck and I'm going to do my face. So we have a variety of different shades in dark skin that you can use. I would ask some of the girls in my team, but I know that they don't all have the shades. They just have their shades. So they can't really do a colour chart swatch. But I have them all. So that's why I said I would do it. Otherwise, I'd get someone else to do it. So I will do that. But everything that I've got, I will share in here that you guys can use. And please, please watch the live I did with Becky, because I go through purely colour matching, and that will really help you as well. And there's another one by Danielle that I'll share with you as well, and it really shows you, and you'll be like, oh, okay. And again, if you've got questions, just ask and we'll come back to them. But I don't want to keep you guys here all night. If you've got any questions, please ask. But honestly, just be real and honest and be authentically you. Nobody's going to take offense if that's what you're doing. If you are trying, like, I know that when I mentioned that 7.5 billion spend, I know there was a lot of people's ears that pricked up that were just thinking money, 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 money. And that's okay. That's absolutely fine. Listen, I want a piece of that pie, right? That's absolutely fine. What isn't fine is, I know we get them everywhere, right? There's going to be people out there that are literally going to be jumping on it for the wrong reasons. They're going to want, because they want the money. So they're going to go and look for the token black girl so they can get the money. That won't work. It won't work, because women of colour can smell it a mile away. They can smell it a while. If you're not authentic, they can smell it a mile away, because you've got to think what we've been through. We're very good at that now, because we have to be. do you understand me? We have to be. It's not because we want to be, but we have to be. Okay. Being obviously in like, thank you, Jodie. There's lots of stories I could share with you. Becky's team want to do a series of lives where we share actually some of the traumas that will give you a better understanding of what we go through being somebody of colour, which I said I'm happy to do, and I'm happy to also get other women of colour involved in that, because again, guys, and I'm going to say it, I am not the only black in the village, okay? I'm not the only black in the village. I'm not the only one. There are more of us here, right? So I don't have to be, I'm not here to be the voice. I'm not here to be the voice. I cannot be the voice for everybody, because we all have different experiences. We all have massive similarities, right? There's things that are standard as a black person. I can only speak as a black woman because I'm a black woman. The Asian community have a different trauma. They have similarities as well, but they have a different trauma, right? I can't speak for everybody. So I've said to do that, that's great, but we get other people involved in that as well. I don't know if that's something that you guys would like to do to understand the traumas, because I think sometimes some of the trauma you need to know to have a better understanding. And I'm not talking about going into slavery and all of that stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. Just little things like, for instance, for me, one of my traumas is when I was growing up in primary school, I was the only black girl in the whole entire school. I was the only one, right? So what they used to do to me was they'd put me in the middle. They'd circle round me, all the good little white girls with the long flowy hair that I really wanted. And they'd hold hands and they'd skip round in a circle, and I'd be in the middle. And they would sing, "There's a brown girl in the ring, cha-la-la-la-la." That song, I'm sure some of you know it. Can't stand it. Don't ever sing it to me. Because that triggers me. That takes me back. Okay? That's one of my traumas that I've had to deal with. And I had to deal with that all through infants into primary school. And then what happened, I went to secondary school. And I went to an all-girls school. And when I went to secondary school, I had the shock of my life, because there was other black girls there and lots of Asian girls, and I didn't know what to do with it, because I was used to being surrounded by white girls. So I had no idea how to relate to people that looked like me. I mean, yes, my family's black and all of that, but it was different. My family, that's different to being around strangers. I didn't know what to do with it. So I went into secondary school. I didn't know how to cope with it. And then what I had, both sides, I had the black girls calling me a bounty. If you don't know what that means, black on the outside, white on the inside. And then I had the white girls also calling me a bounty. The only ones that would really accept me were the Asian girls. And the reason why the Asian girls accepted me, because they had trauma too. A lot of them were being forced into getting married early. A lot of them had trauma with, they were too dark, so that their parents couldn't find them husbands because they were too dark. They weren't fair enough. There was one girl that was bleaching her skin from the age of 14 because her mum was always on her, why do you have to be so dark? Why can't you be light like your sister? Right? The Asian girls accepted me, so I became friends with them. And the misfits is what I'm going to call them. Those kids that had problems, you know, the problem children that had problems at home. Those were the people I hung around with, which I know is what molded me into the person of becoming a people's pleaser and got walked on a lot of the time because of what I went through, right? That's just a small snippet. But just that alone, experience alone, made me realise that as I wasn't acceptable. Nobody wanted me as I was. And then when it came to boys, it was the same thing. Because I was dark, the black boys wouldn't look at me, because that I grew up in the era where the black boys all wanted to be white women or mixed race. If it was either white women or mixed race, and if you were mixed race, it was like a gold mine. If you got with a mixed race girl, it was like you were winning, right? I never got looked at. So when I did go out with my friends, I was always the one left in the corner. Nobody wanted to approach me. Nobody would talk to me because of the colour of my skin. That's why, and I'm going to tell you now, I've never dated a black man in my life. I'm 48 years old. I've never dated a black man in my life because they didn't want me. Okay? So that's what led me to date white men, those that were interested. I have not been with a lot of guys. I've not had a lot of boyfriends because not a lot of people wanted me, right? But that's how that happened. So now if I was to meet, and I'm being honest, real and honest, if I was now to meet a black man, I don't know what I'd do with that because I've never experienced being in a relationship with a black man. I know that sounds crazy, but that's facts, that's truth, right? They've never accepted me. Okay, so that's just little traumas. I hated being black. I hated being black. I hated it. That's not the case anymore, ladies. Please know. I love the skin I'm in. I love it for everything it is, right? I know it's got its disadvantages. I know that, but I love the skin that I'm in, right? But that is taken years, years to get to the stage where I can say, I love the skin that I'm in. And if that means I have to be single for the rest of my life, and I'll be single for the rest of my life, right? Whatever, okay? But that's some of the traumas behind being women of colour. So when it comes to makeup and things, colour matching, you need to know what you're talking about, because, and I don't want to scare you, because we all get scared of colour matching as well. I think, you know, we're not sure if we're doing it right, and whether it's white or black skin, right? But when you're matching women of colour, there's certain things you need to know when you're doing it, which is in the other video. I won't go over that now, but it's in the other video and you'll hear about it. But things like the skin bleaching, there's a lot of women of colour that don't want to be this colour, so will want three, 4 shades lighter than their skin tone because they want to look light. And if that's what they want, you let them have it. You do not say to them, that ain't yours, that isn't your shade, you can't wear that. You do not say that to them, because you don't know the reason why they want it that light. You allow them, if that's what makes them happy, then you allow them to do that. If you have a relationship with them that you're able to influence them a little bit and say, babe, man, like, seriously, like, if you have that kind of relationship, go for it. But if you do not say to her, that isn't your shade. You allow her to have what she has chosen. And that's it, Marva. That's why we offer 3 shades. Offer them 3 shades and let them choose. Exactly, Marva, which you'll see in the live. Do not offer a woman of colour 1 shade. Offer them 3, okay? 3 of the closest. 1 may be completely off. It doesn't matter. Offer them 3 and let them choose the one that they want, because you don't know what's behind why they want that foundation. You don't know what type of look they're looking for unless you have that close relationship that they will openly say to you, I want it to look like this, or I want it to look like that, blah, 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 right? if you don't have that relationship, someone randomly new to offer them 3 shades and let them choose. But like I said, the live that I done in Becky's group explains all of this, so I won't go into it now because I'm aware of the time, and I'm like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to keep you here all night. You know, you've all got kids and things to do. But that's just some of my small trauma. Like, that's tiny compared to some other stuff that I've personally been through. So I know Becky and that want to do a series. If that's something you guys would like, something, I don't know why we can't all do it together, to be honest. But if it's something that you feel you'd like in here, like, just let us know. Like, it's up to your leader, Jen, here. Just let us know. Happy to do. Because the more you know and the more educated you are, the better for everybody, the better for all of us. And you will understand certain things and why people feel a certain way, or why someone might act a certain way, because you have a better understanding. You can empathize. You'll never ever be able to fully feel it because it's not your world and never will be, but you can at least empathize, right? That's really helpful. That's really good to know, and could help someone for further trauma. Exactly. I want to do it. Speak to Jen, because this is not my group. I have no, right? So you guys speak, and if that's something you want, then we can do. I'm aware of the time. I'm like, SJ, you've been on over an hour. I could be here all night and talk to you about it all night. It's up to us all. It's up to us all. Just link arms, guys. Like, we're all into, we've got this new pay plan. Like, quickly before I go, like, just the pay plan. I mean, I'm hoping that you all were blessed yesterday when we got the update. I'm hoping that you all got blessed and your pay packet, you were just like, wow, right? It's incredible what Derek has done for all of us. It really is incredible for what Derek has done for all of us, okay? And I know what I got, I was like, what? Like, it's really is life-changing. And again, women of black people, right? I'm not going to say Asian community because it's different. Black people, because of the traumas, the mentality that we have as a black community is, don't do any extra. And again, this isn't all of us. There are exceptions. There's people out there that got open mindsets. But the majority, and especially the older generation, Marva, I know, can back me up on this. The mentality is, do not do any more than you have to, because you will not get anything extra. Do not aspire to get that manager's role, director's role, or this or that, because you'll never be offered the job because of this. Okay? Do enough to survive, and that is it. To stay under the radar, so you're not being bothered, you're not being you're not in any trouble, and you can just live your life until the day you die. Literally, that is it. You're not to aspire to do anything more than that, okay? Because it's a safety mechanism. It's keeping yourself safe. If you try to do it and you get knocked back, you're just getting hurt. You're just hurting yourself. So don't even bother. Don't even try it. Don't run your own business. Don't do that. Don't go for that promotion. Don't do. Okay? That's the mentality. But we know that we all deserve it. Doesn't matter where you're from. There's a lot of people, black people in the community, that need this opportunity. They need this opportunity. But what makes it hard is getting through that barrier. Because what we're thinking is, right, say it was me, and you've come to me and you've offered this the opportunity, and I really want to do it, and I'm like, yeah, I really want to do it. But what we're thinking is, what's mum going to say? What's dad's going to say? What's my uncle's going to say? What's my church going to say? Because they're all going to say the same thing. And then they're going to say to me, oh my God, it's not a black-owned business. Oh my God, you're just going to make the white man rich. You ain't going to get nothing out of it. Don't do 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 it. They've got this whole thing to contend with, and all of this trauma that goes with it, that stops them dead. Right? And it's when you understand it, you can do a better job into helping them to take that step forward for themselves and their families. I'm telling you now, the first time I went self-employed was when I became a Zumba instructor in 2007, and I had the whole world on my shoulders saying, what was I doing? You can't do that. It's run by this man, it's run by that. No, you're black. They're not gonna like they. I made a success of my Zumba career for 13, 14 years. It wasn't until I made a success of it that they opened my family opened their mind a bit more and were a bit more like, okay, oh, all right, maybe times have changed or whatever. It's so deep, and that's why I think a series is a good idea, because it's so deep. When you hear the stories, you can have a better understanding. It's not simply that somebody doesn't believe in themselves, that's why they don't want to do it. It's the whole thing behind it. When you sat, my mum worked in a job for almost 40 years consistently, always showing up, always doing what she needed to do, everything you could think of, right? She loved her job. She didn't get any further than manager. She never got the higher positions ever, even though she should have. And when they made her redundant, she got statutory sick pay. That's all they gave her. They didn't care less, where other people got X, Y, Z. Okay? And that's why they don't do it. That's why they won't aspire unless they run it, unless it's their own thing that they've created themselves, or it's a black-owned business. They don't want to dabble in that because they've been burnt so many times and hurt so many times and taken from so many times. They don't want to give. Okay, so it's harder to break through that mold with people sometimes. Does that make sense? Yes, Marva's backing me up. Exactly that, right? I don't know I hope I'm making sense. I feel like I'm rambling. Sorry. I hope that you got some value out of this. And like I said, if you've got any trust, if you think of anything afterwards, just pop it in the comments. I can always come back and answer it. Or like I said, Marva, Amanda, Lindsay said they may have an opinion that they can answer that as well. Because like I said, I'm not the only black in the village. I can only share my own experiences and what I've learned along my journey. But we've all learned different things, and we just need to come together. Literally, it really is simple to a degree. If you come together, listen to each other, communicate, and be open to learning, it can really be something that can be really quite simple within unique. We can do it from the ground up. Do not wait for corporate. Go out there and collaborate. Like I said, you don't have to put out big posts saying I want to be diverse. Go and reach out to, you know, got people in here. Reach out to Lindsay. Lindsay, let's do an eyeshadow look. Let's do a lipstick look. We've got the new special this month. Let's create a bundle and both do the look and put it out there. That's normalizing it. That's making it easier to have those conversations, because, you know, this is how it looks on me, but this is how it looks on my sister Lindsay, who's sort of a darker shade. Notice how blah 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 blah, whatever. Skincare, I hope a lot of you went out and got the skincare books. Again, I'll drop all of that in here and then you guys can go and get what you need to get. But I'd highly recommend you go and get the skincare books, because our skin is different. And those skincare books are brilliant. That will teach you so much about black skin, as well as the one for white skin will teach you so much about your own skin as well, I'm sure. So I would highly recommend you go and get those books if you haven't already got them. Makes total sense. Okay, I think I should leave you guys. I think I should leave you guys now, right? Hey, Gabrielle. I love you eyes at the... Yes, it's Beloved Palette 3. I've done it for a specific reason, but yeah, it's Beloved Palette 3. Thank you, Jen, Jodie, thank you for having me. I hope that was okay and what you wanted. And like I said, any questions, please don't be scared to ask. Just ask them. Get into the Shades of Beauty group as well if you're not already in there. There's lots of photo albums with women of colour in there that you can use. You do not need to ask permission. You can just use those images, okay? Just go and take them and add to them. Yeah, you can add photos in there. I loved every second. Oh, thank you, Lindsay. Thank you. I just want it to be of value for you, for all of you, not just for me. Thank you for being here. No, you're welcome, Jen. You're most welcome. If there's anything I can do, or anyone's got any ideas, I don't know everything, you guys might come up with something and we can all do it together. Let's do it. Opportunity videos, like obviously there was the one that I shared at corporate Empower You. I can share that with you guys. You can use it. Go ahead and use it. But if anyone wants to create a new one, go ahead and do that. Do it together. Create an opportunity video with a range of shades. It's not hard. Go ahead and do it. I'm a little late. No worries. Don't worry. Catch it from the replay. Don't worry, Gabrielle. It's absolutely fine. Don't worry. You can watch it on the replay. But I'm going to leave you guys. I've been here. I've taken up way too much of your time. And I know what I'm like. It's so deep. I can go on forever and ever. And I don't want to do that to you. You want to create a new one. Lindsay, reach out to people. You do not need to wait for somebody to tell you to do it. If you want to create one, you can say, right, I want to create one. You can put out a post, whatever, and say, I want to do this. Who's in? Pull everyone together and do one. Just do it. Like, people don't even have to be in your market. You can reach out to women that you know that are in other markets. It doesn't matter where people are. Just do it. Do not stop waiting for somebody to tell you what to do. Stop waiting for corporate to tell you what to do. Stop the copy and pasting. Be real and authentically you. That's it. That's how you win. That's my opinion anyway. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just real and I am who I am. Okay. All right. I'm going to let you go. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks, Jen, for having me. Thanks, Jodie, for asking me and having me here as well. Anything I can do to help, just shout. And I will love you guys and leave you. And I will speak to you all later. Yeah. Love you. Mwah. See you later, guys. Bye.